We
All we thank
started.
you for this food. Blessed in your name, Jesus. Amen.
Okay,
Amen. So we are, amen. We are live. So, hey, you guys, this is us again. This is Shannon, of course, on this day of May. And we are celebrating my mom's birthday again, but we have her live with us. So, we're going to do an exclusive with her today for her birthday so she could just talk to you guys all about whatever she wants to talk about. We'll talk a little bit about some history, tell a little
Hello.
story, or what have you.
Good. She got a call. So just gonna
Okay, here she got a call live, y'all, right here.
hello.
Hey,
There she
Mom.
goes.
Who did Geneva?
yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank
Hey, we
you.
can hear you. You want to come on here live too?
Huh?
Are you busy?
Yeah,
Well,
she
Shannon
busy.
put me
We
on
live
a live, whatever you call it.
broadcast. We
Oh,
on
okay.
live.
All right, you go right ahead. I'll see it on Facebook.
Yes,
Oh,
we
okay
will.
then. Talk to
Okay,
you
love you.
later. Thank you for calling, baby.
Okay.
All right, later now.
Later.
Okay, Shannon.
So yeah, so of course, all of you, everybody, we all in there. So thank all of you guys for coming in. As you guys can hear, this is live. So everything that's happening right now is all here. So that was my sister Geneva. She's gonna be live too pretty soon, popping in. We got Hot Cat coming in. She said, "Hey," she said, "You look cute." Um, she said, "No, who calling her?" That's my sister. She calling. So yes, so there we go. We got folks, happy birthday. Got Facebook users. We don't know who exactly that is, but thank y'all. Y'all should put y'all names up to let us know who you guys are. So we're wishing my mom a happy birthday. So I'm just gonna let her kind of just talk a little bit and say, just how do you feel today on your birthday, Ma?
Thank you. I feel good today. I was in the hospital for 2.5 days, but with pneumonia, but I'm out and I'm feeling strong. I'm glad to be alive and glad to be back home. And my script is coming back. And today is my birthday, May 7, 1937. I was born on the 7th of May in the 37th year, and I am the seventh child. Born in Arkansas, Wilma, Arkansas. Now they call it Wilma Lou. But anyway, I was born and raised in Arkansas till I was 26, and I left and moved to Longview, Washington.
So, for those of you guys who don't know, that was during the Great Migration. Okay. That was during those Jim Crow eras when folks from the Deep South migrated here to the West. And that was a great move to do because, again, it was all about finding things that was just better for the families, releasing a lot of that Jim Crow era of, coloreds only or whites only or whichever one. So, coming over here was a great opportunity for those who were in the deep south to find a better life and to for their children and all of that. So go ahead, Mom.
Yes. Anyway, and I moved from Longview, Washington between 66 and 7 and 66 and 67. And Shannon was born in 68. So
That's
I've been.
me.
And what you say, Shannon?
No, I said, yeah, that's me, 68. Where I am.
And I lived in several places like Longview, Reno, Stockton, um, um, Fremont, then to Vallejo, then back to Oakland, then back, and now I'm back in Vallejo. So
Yes. So we got a bunch of folks here. She said, that's Alfredo. He said he came to the States in the 80s. And then we got High Cat here. So yeah, so definitely a great change. So tell us, Ma, a little bit about like when you were a kid and just some of the things that you guys did back in the South.
when I was a kid, we used to pick cotton, chop cotton. I used to, me and my sister used to play in the woods when they was building the road down through there. And me and my sister and uh, one of the Johnson and one of my first cousin, Donnie Cooper, Buster Johnson and Donnie Eloise and Margaret. We were running through the woods, playing, having fun. That was my uncle Henry had a brother named, we called him Tyke. Uh, and we Halloween him one night. He was living in one of Ed Johnson house in not for about 3 blocks from where my home was, and we Halloween him. And we were running through the wood. He come out trying to find us. That was a lot of fun. I had when we used to love when Christmas time came. My mama and my daddy, they used to, when we go to bed, they have my brother to get a wagon wheel and roll it in the dirt where we can see it and say that's Santa Claus in the sleigh. And we used to wake up and have apples and nuts and candy and orange and dolls in a shoebox. That was fun right there. Get up and see the shoe boxes down up under the Christmas tree. Oh Lord, and then we were so
They was
happy.
lying back there, dude. I said Santa Claus came outside.
And back in those days, that was glass dolls, or either rag dolls. And so anyway, we used to have fun with that, and we didn't tear our thing up. We kept it for the longest until we growed up, you know.
Now,
But I
those
had
was
a
some
lot
good
of fun
gifts.
growing up.
That was some good gifts.
We had a lot of ups and downs, you know. But thank God He brought us through, and look where I am now, up in California.
Exactly. And that's where here we are, legacy building.
Yeah.
So the fact that, coming back and having all of the brothers and sisters that you had, how many children with your mom and dad, how many were there, siblings
How
you had?
many children?
Yeah, siblings.
I
How many
mean,
brothers and sisters you had?
Oh, that was 11 of us. That was 4 boys and 7 girls.
if somebody dies, it was
Yeah.
11
We had
children, but one
one.
died at
We had
childbirth.
one brother that passed away as a baby, and then there was 3 left, and and we had fun growing up together. My older brother, whenever my mama went somewhere, he would have to babysit us, and he'd get in there and cook. And we had a lot of fun. He'd get in there and cook some tea cakes one time. Instead of putting flavor, he put color in there, and the tea cakes was green. And they were so hard, and we had them. And they used to, my brother and my older sister, William and Annabelle, they was throwing them at one another. So we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I would say too, because I remember when we were younger, of course, he's our oldest, and he would make tea cakes for us. They
Yeah.
were actually pretty good. So I would say, I guess he just learned how to make that from way back home.
Those
But
gifts,
he would come in and bake tea cakes for us too.
I remember that.
Yeah. But anyway, and I love to cook. I love to wash dishes, and I love to wash clothes. So
Hi,
I
Natasha.
love to clean.
Help us today, Lord.
Right, right. So all of those brothers and sisters, what would you say were some of the challenges that took place, being in a big family?
Well, the challenge was that there were so many children to, we didn't have everything that we need or wanted
Right.
because there were so many 7 girls, and 3 boys. But I guess I was so young back in those days. I never remember about wanting anything, because I can't remember way back there. But after I got up, say about 13 years old and stuff, I always wanted to get grown and get out and get gone.
Right?
We, my mama would work us. We had to work in the cotton fields, and I'm ready to get gone.
Right. Right.
At that age, I couldn't go nowhere because I didn't know nothing.
Right.
What
So
we
now
was
you talked about cotton and picking cotton and how that went. So when you guys did that, what age were you around at that time when you had to work the fields?
13. Yeah, 13. We was out there in that field.
Oh, okay.
And because my mama did a lot of farming, and then we go and pick cotton, shop cotton for other people's.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way we had to make our living. Because Daddy, he was working at the at the mill, not cotton mill, but a lumber mill. But that for all those children, some 7 girls, after the boys got gone, uh, we we didn't get any money, for to buy shoes and clothes and all that to go to school. So we had to get out there and help. Like when the uh, season come for the cotton and the chopping the cotton and the picking the cotton and all that, and we had to get out there and help.
Yeah. What would you say? What would be one thing that um you would say about doing that you learned and that made you, as resilient as you are today?
Well, I learned a lot of things: how to take care of myself,
Mhm.
how to get to have the spirit that want to work and take care of myself, how to survive. That's what I did. Learn
Right.
how to survive. That ain't no way that anybody can. You can't starve me, because there's always a way to get out there and get you some food or a job.
Right. And you heard it here first. So yes, as you guys know, so again, just growing up back, in the deep south, and as much as we have moved forward, there are still things that are happening that we're still dealing with. And I'm gonna just kind of talk a little bit about Jim Crow and about segregations, or where it was blacks only or whites only, and going to school. What would you say were some of the things that happened when you were in school, where it was segregated, where there was only blacks, there were only whites, and how you guys integrated? What did you do to
So it was just all black school that I went to. So the white didn't go to school with us. It was all black, and the only school was in Wilma. They called it Wilma High School, and it was just all black. So they didn't let the black go to school with the white down in there them days.
And they didn't let them ride the same school bus either.
Didn't
Huh?
they didn't ride the same bus. Cause
Did
we
y'all
was
get a school bus? Y'all had to walk, huh?
Yeah, we finally we got a school bus when I was about say 14, 15. We finally got a bus that come so far. And then after I got away from there, the bus was coming right by our house, the school bus, but we had to walk about 2 miles to the bus to come so far, and we had to walk in the cold and the sleet and the snow to get to the bus. They call it the Pilson Road. So that was about a mile and a half to get to the bus.
right?
Sometimes if we be late, the bus go off and we have to walk on. We better not go back home though. We get tearing up.
Right. Right. If you
So
missed.
it was that was hard. That was
Mhm.
hard for kids back in these days out there in the country. You had to walk in the sleet and the snow. Sometime when uh, his sleet and it's freeze so bad to the ice would bend over the bushes and stuff and hide the road, and you'll get lost if you didn't know where you was going. That was a pretty hard thing for us to do back in to live through back in those days.
Yeah.
was still strong. I was still real strong.
But yeah, God made us strong. You know, we all came out strong, and I thank everybody. My oldest brother, they live. I have three. Let me see, Betty Jo, Anna Mae, Widow Mae, Walter Taylor, Betty Jo, Anna Mae, Widow Mae, Walter Taylor. Five. We lived to get over 80. Eloise and Shirley, and they just made Eloise. I think she made 80 before she passed away. Shirley, I think she was about 79 or something like that.
Right.
So, all five of the rest of them made it to that 80, and I done made it to the 80. So,
Right. So yeah, so definitely looking at the fact that when you hear those stories about people say we had to walk 2 miles to get, to the bus or to
bus, yeah.
yes, that those are real. That's real stories. So when you did go to school or when you guys were in school, like what were some of the things that you aspired to? Like what would the teachers be saying, like what you would be doing or what's going to happen or, where you're going to go after school?
Did we go after school?
Yeah, like, where was college a part of that? Did they ever talk about going to college or
yeah, they talked about, going to college, and as a matter of fact, I at 16, I was in the 11th grade when I got taken out, and I got fitted for my gown, and then my mama took me out out of school to go to work. I started school what they call the primer school, with them little bitty books that if Jerry had 5 apples,
primary,
yeah, they didn't call it primary back in the day. Anyway, they had primary first grade and second grade when I started in the primary. My teacher name was Miss Simmons. She knowed all of my my mama and my grandmama and aunties and all of that. But we took classes. They was doing science and history. Now that was one thing that I didn't like, history. And all of that, that's what we had to do after on up in age. But back in the first grade, second grade, and third grade, they didn't mostly talk about no college. It was after I got in there, fifth grade, I believe. That's when they talked to us about college. Going to college and stuff. But mostly black people, they didn't let them in college back in their days.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So yeah, there's a lot of black people finished high school,
Mm-hmm.
but they weren't able to go to no college. And my grandmother and them, all of them was paying money for it in Little Rock for the children to go to college, but then when the time come for them to go, they didn't let them. They didn't allow them to go. I don't know what happened there, but they didn't allow them to go.
Wow.
Something happened. I don't know what. They slid and got their money in there.
So
Right.
they had all put money into
Yeah,
like a
they had
savings
all put money into
for y'all the events and higher education, but
yeah,
it wasn't.
yeah.
They mostly y'all was worth more working for them on making some money than it was for y'all to be in the college.
Right.
Could afford to do so.
Yeah.
It was a different story.
Right. Right. So looking at now, here we are, these years later, and definitely the advancement of education and advancement of of blacks that are here that have migrated on. Would you say from just history, just going back and looking at blacks that were still in the deep south and folks who migrated over, was there a statement of when you go over, will you come back or will you bring things back? Was that ever discussed during times like when you came over, or anyone that was saying they were leaving, going to the West? What was those conversations like?
Um, well, I tell you this, the people back in our days, they had good teachers. They had good teachers,
Mhm.
and but today is that it's more equipment for the children to learn. But it's easier for children today to get in school and learn in school because I guess the time has gotten wiser,
Mm-hmm.
But the children got a whole lot to look for today than we had back in those days.
Right.
And whenever people that leave, uh, like from Arkansas, and then they come back, they have their own homes and all of that, buy their own homes
Mm-hmm.
and have their own land and all that kind of stuff. So uh,
Well, they did good then.
they did good. Yeah, they did good.
They had to suffer through some things, but they did.
Yeah.
Right. And Robin, this is kind of where you jump in a little bit. Hot Cat is asking about, of course, family, and we're looking at lineage in Mississippi. Can you speak a bit to just what you have found from doing some of the historical mapping of,
Oh, okay. So Mississippi, where I'm at here. Oh, okay. So I did Mama's DNA, and I found out a lot of things. I didn't know we had such a connection to Mississippi and North Carolina, even going back to Virginia. So our lineage, so our family, Mama's side of the family has been here. We've been here since that 1600. How I know is because when I did her DNA, she connected to cousins that were in Virginia, and in North Carolina, that was able to trace their roots even farther, because some of them had came from free people, who black folks that were emancipated before emancipation in 1965. And so some of Mama kinfolk, some of her cousins were freed. Now, as far as our straight line, I'm still trying to figure that out. But one of our great 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 grandfathers was definitely free before emancipation. And so she got cousins in Virginia that 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 I could find on the 1800 census, when the census first came out, who
Mhm.
were, and back then they, instead of saying African or black, they would say other. Black folks was considered other. Everybody else was normal, but we was considered other. And then about time they got to the 19 um then you had the 1820, 1840, but by the time you got to the 1850 and 1860, then it would say black, or it would say colored or black. I got to check that again, but color or
Yeah,
black
you're right.
or mulatto if they were mixed.
Mhm.
So then, but I had to go back there because somehow the connection was Virginia, North Carolina, Georgia was much larger than it is today, and they broke Georgia up later. And so a lot of slaves were there in Georgia and North Carolina, and then we hit Mississippi. So Mama Ken folks is going to hit Mississippi with the last name Sanders, and and which connected to her some cousins with the last name Banks and Griffin. But this is not from the Griffin side. I mean, her, the name is connected. The Sanders is the name. Now I got to look on my phone so I can give y'all the name of the city in Mississippi. But I could tell you the city in North Carolina was called Robeson, um, North Carolina, Sampson, North Carolina. In Virginia, it is what's now is the Hamptons. But give me a minute, talk to her a little bit more. Shannon, and let me look it up on. Let me look up on my ancestry. But
Yes.
let me add this too. Also, of course, we got Louisiana, and but our people came from Louisiana to Arkansas. That's what I found out. And also, on our grandmother's mother's side, they had came from Alabama to Arkansas. But so this Mississippi side is actually on her father's side. So let me find that. When I did Mama's DNA, of course we have our African ancestry and there's many tribes in there. I even found African cousins on Ancestry and 23andMe. That was great. That was wonderful. Two of them is her Facebook friend, and they Nigerian. So yeah, we Nigerian. But we have Ghana, we have a lot of the West African nationalities because of the mixture. That's one thing about the United States. You know, you had different tribes, but in order for us to survive, we had no choice but to come together. We were brought together, and so those different tribes had to mix and become one family.
Right. So that is definitely interesting to know of how when you went back and looked at where the lineage, went as far as going back to, Africa. And then historically, where have some of the folks that we're connected with that have made put their footprint in our history as far as like some of the time of the revolutionary.
Right. I found ancestors that had served, Black ancestors, which people need to know that there were Black folks, Africans of descent. Of course, we know history that has been hidden from us that had served in the Revolutionary War, because you had Africans and Black folks that, they were brought here from Africa, but who served in the Revolutionary War, between, England and Americas, because too, they was offering them freedom. You serve, you get free.
Right.
But I did find some DNA cousins who connect to several. So I know it was through that one line that had served in the Revolutionary War. So that was it. The DNA is really interesting. And then also I must say this too, when we did the DNA, Mama also had, of course, we all say we got Native American. Mama did have a percentage of, but sometimes folks don't have as much as they think. A lot of time we have European ancestry, but we blame it on the Native American ancestry. But those that have it, you have it. Not saying you don't, but chances are you're gonna find some European ancestry. But with Mama has normally, now they say it's 20% of people in America, not 20%, but most of the folks in America have at least 20% of European ancestry.
Mm-hmm.
Mama's African ancestry is very high. She's in the 90s. She doesn't have 20% of European ancestry, so she's not with the norm. So, which means that, that African ancestry, there wasn't a lot of mixture in some of her lineage. Right. Now, I also found out she come from an African, when you do 23andMe, you find out how far the African ancestry go, or if you came from a African woman. Some people do and find out they came from a Native American woman or a European woman. But with Mama, she came from an African woman. That line, mama, all down the line. And then also a relative on her father's side had did the DNA, which would go through her paternal line. So I found out that because the paternal line, because we as women, we don't carry X and Y. Mm. Men carry X and Y. We don't. We carry, what do we carry? The two Ys? Two X's. Oops, we carry the two X's. So when we do our DNA on 23andMe, our paternal side, we don't know the chromosome, we don't know if they came from Africa or if they came from European. We don't know that line because we don't have that chromosome. Mm-hmm. I mean, father is in us, but we just don't carry the male chromosome. That's how science. That's the science of it all that makes us different. But the men carry the mother and the father chromosome. They carry those two. So you have to have a male, a close male, whether it be a brother, father, nephew that came from that paternal line to get that paternal lineage. And so she had one, and that's how I was able to find out her father's side was African. So mama has like 91, 92% African, and she has the other percentage is Irish, and I'm sure Irish is connected to Wales somewhere, but definitely Irish. The other percentage, and Mama also matched with a Irish cousin from Ireland, and she also has Southeast Asian. So that was a surprise. So I'm thinking maybe that came through Louisiana because there was a war between the Philippines back in the day. Anyway, people that came to Louisiana way back, reaching way back. So I don't know, but anyway, Southeast Asian, and you dealing with the Philippines and then Asia. Mama has a cousin from the Philippines. No, I'm sorry. He's not from the Philippines. He's from Madagascar. Mama has a cousin from Madagascar and then I found out that the Philippines is, not far from Madagascar. Mm. They separated by water. But anyway, I mean, let me get out of here. But I'm just going to this Mississippi right now. So it's something else. But trying to find out the place in Mississippi, and our ancestry want to act up on me. Okay, don't do it now.
Right. So as you guys can see, again, tracing back your lineage, and here we are today, and looking at the fact my mom, she had us children. So Mom, you want to talk a little bit about your children, all the children you had, and and all them kids.
Yeah. And we just want everybody to know that we got off that 1600 boat. We got off the boat. No, I'm fit to find these people, and then
So talk a little bit about, your kids as far as like, growing up, and having, you being a mom, and then
I had 6 children. I lost a baby at birth, a boy, and so I have two boys, and all the rest of them is girls. And I had fun with my children when they were growing up. My oldest child was a boy, and I had fun with him. I enjoyed him. I used to want to get outside and lay a blanket, and me and him be out there playing and going on, And then when Geneva came along, that was the second child. She was so tiny till I almost felt sorry for her. She was so little. I used to carry her to the doctor and said, there's something wrong with my baby. She acted like she don't got no life in her, because she never said nothing. She didn't cry. With Billy and Judy, Judy, she didn't talk too much, and she didn't crawl like other children. She scooted, one leg sticking out, and she scooting on the other one. And then Shannon,
you forgot about me.
Robin, she was alive. Robin was alive. She talked a lot and cry. When she go to sleep and wake up crying. Shannon was always quiet. But it tickled me when Robin used to get out of her bed and come and get in the bed with me and tell me to turn your face forward. Mama wanted me to have my face stuck right in her. Shannon, she didn't go for that. Shannon, I put Shannon in the bed. Come on, asleep with Mama. She didn't want to be in there. And I'll be trying to talk to Shannon, and Shannon be talking to somebody else. You know, like, I don't know who she be talking about, but she have that dog, and she be saying something, you know, going on after Shannon. You said, "Well, Mama love you." I mean, Mama love you. Yeah. She was always quiet, but one time her and Robin was back in the room playing, and Robin always was a talker. Shannon didn't talk too much, but she said something. Robin said something that made Shannon mad. I know anything. I saw Robin laughing, and something come flying out of the room. It's something Shannon had thrown. Shannon had thrown at her, you know.
Yeah, because she would
Anyway,
always
I
tease
don't
me.
want to have raising my children. Hard times, you
Yeah,
know, but
yep, I did. But I had your back though. If anybody messed with you, they was going down. And I
Right?
was by myself. You didn't even jump in the fight. She wouldn't even help me. I'm on the ground. Okay, Leake, Mississippi. Leake, Leake, Mississippi.
there's Leak, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had a lot of fun out of my children growing up, but now they done grown up and moved away, you know. But whenever I holler, they right there for me, you know. That's what I thank God so much is that whenever I need anything, they gonna find a way to get it, you know.
Yeah.
So I remember when I first moved to Stockton, I had went gambling up in Reno and gambled all of my money and couldn't pay my rent. And Michelle got on the phone and called Shannon. That's my baby daughter. Called Shannon, and Shannon sent the woman the money. And I think I still owe you what, $100. But I never did that no more. I lost some sense after it. I lost some sense and had to save my money.
Right.
See,
Right.
you live and learn. You live and learn. A lot of things you do, but after a while, God correct that for you and get you on the main track. So I got this enough how to save a penny now.
Right. And that's my brother right there, Cleveland. So he said, Maria Castillo said, happy birthday.
Billy done said something.
Yeah, that's him right there.
Oh, okay, I see it now. Thank you, Billy.
Yeah. So back to kind of going back with Robin. Yeah. So Robin, she used to tease me, and I had a whole lot of tolerance, and I've developed that same tolerance now, and I could kind of withstand a lot of something. But it would be those breaking points where she would just do it just one more too many times. And then after that, the fury would just unleash itself. And I would have to throw something at her because she would run real quick to get away from me. And I'm coming after her. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do something and throw it because it's gonna
I was trying to make her come alive. Come alive. She wasn't alive. I had to make her come alive.
Yeah, Robert was back there talking some crazy stuff. I mean, whatever. Just like I'll be in the house and both of them be at home, you could hear Robin mouth, all you hear Shannon. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But Robin be on her way, blah, 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 blah. I'm telling you.
right. So, I would just listen because I was a listener. I just listened.
Yeah.
But after a while, it was like, okay, you just going, and now you messing with me. And so it was that typical, like, letting the lion, let him lie. And she would like poke at the lion. And the lion would be like, okay, yeah, just gone.
Yeah.
After a while, it was like the lion got loose.
Yeah, and Billy, he was a loose. That boy had a lot of energy, I'm telling you. But it tickled me one time when Andrews That's my first cousin Andrew Cooper, my Ethelene son Donnie Cooper's brother and daughter. Him and my brother Sam started working, and Andrew used to come through there with a beer. He opened up a can of beer and he was drinking it, and they used to let Billy drink their farm. He loved that farm. And and when Andrew was leaving, Billy was following him home for one from my farm. Boy, that tickled me. And he was only 8 months old too.
Right.
8 months old. But, yeah, that was so funny. I never will forget that. That was so funny to me. That boy loved that palm off that beer. Yeah. Now, he was a loose. He was a loose. I mean, he was before he went and stayed with my sister Wilma. He was a lot of fun. He talked a lot, and he was always into something.
Right. Right. So here we are again for those who are here. We got my brother and my sister who's on here, and that's my sister right there. We got two other ones that we have that's not on here. But looking at the fact that you have celebrated so many birthdays, what would be that one birthday that you would say you remember the most? That was just had the most memories for you.
The one I had in the one that my oldest son gave me. Let me see, I was 80 for the birthday.
Oh,
party.
last year?
Yeah,
85?
that wasn't last year. That was
With your blue suit on?
80. Yeah, when I was 85
That was last year.
last year. I didn't know that was last year.
Yeah, that was just last year.
When we were at the park, right out here.
Yeah, no, I thought it'd been 80.
You're not talking about the one that was there at your place, are you?
No, not the one at the house.
That was last year.
The one last year.
Yeah, last year. That was last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year it was a blur. But yes, that was good. I mean, we had everybody that came out. We actually had your cousin Ira who came out. That was great. Uncle, I always want to call him Uncle, but cousin Earl who came out always. Earl is always
And
out.
his sister,
Yes.
Deborah, and then Willie Jr. Bradley, a young
Yes. Willie
young
came
man that I used to take care of when he was little.
out. Mm-hmm. We called him Head.
Head, yeah.
Yeah, he had a big old head.
A lot of all of my great grannies and grannies.
Yes. That was good. So it was like grandchildren, great grandchildren, and then
And
great
I think that was 3 great grandchildren,
yes.
great grandchildren, and great.
Yes. Yes, that's true. Because that's her grandchild, and that's her child, and then her child had a child. So yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Lord bless you with great, because the
Yeah,
great,
you missed that, Maurice. That was good. You should have been there.
yeah, the great come from Shauna, from Shauna.
Taniza.
No,
So Taniza and Shauna, they both got,
Taniza, one of her children have children?
I don't know.
No, it's Kayshawn too.
Yes, Kayshawn, he has a child. So yes, so that's that great.
Yeah, Kayshawn,
Son is your great.
Yeah, so he's the only one that has.
Yep, you was able. They saw their great grandmother. I mean,
but
that's
you know what?
amazing.
I'm glad to have all those children because there's a lot of my there's 2 of my sisters only have one child,
Mhm.
and when their mother passed away, then they had nobody to help. So I'm glad for all of my children. I got a lot of help.
Yes, there's a lot of great grand or just all types of them. How many can we recall that you have as far as like grandchildren, great grands, all of them just all together?
let me see that. By name, I don't know.
Yeah, don't
Let's
know
see,
names.
Robert Jr., child, Niecy was the oldest. Shell was the next.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't her son, Nisha's son got children, right? So that's
Yes.
Yeah.
too.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so she got some great grands going
I
on.
think, and Robert Jr., then Geneva.
2 from Rob.
No, I'm talking about who was first.
Oh, who was first?
Yes, Niecy and then that Shell.
But
and-
but in order to find out how many grandchildren you got, let's go.
No, she wanted to know.
Let's go by how many children each child had. So Rob had 2.
She talking about how old is the first one.
Oh, you want to
Well,
know?
yeah,
how
no, well,
old-
like how many would she have altogether? Last I
Okay,
recalled,
so
it was like 20.
Rob has 2, and then it's Geneva next. Geneva got 5. Let me see. Let me make
Sean
sure.
on Rogers,
don't forget
Anthony,
Geneva.
and Keisha. What's his
No.
name?
Don't forget
She had
Tyree.
Shell,
Tyree.
Oh yeah.
Shauna, Roger, Anthony, Tyree. Geneva has 5. Rob got 2. So that's that. There you go, right there with 7. And then the next person is Billy.
Billy.
And
Billy
Billy
got
has 2.
3.
Oh, 3. Billy has 3. So
4,
7.
4 to tell the truth.
4.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They had 1 in
Okay.
one.
So 4. So we gonna say 4. So I have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I go 11. And then Judy has
6.
6.
Okay, so then that makes it 17. And then I have 4. And that makes that 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And then Shannon has 2. And so that makes that 23, 21, 22, 23. And so you have 23 grandchildren that we know of. It might be something else. 23 grandchildren. If it is, the DNA is right there showing up. 23 grandchildren. And then the 23 grandchildren. As far as the great grandchildren, well, that's gonna be a lot of counting right there. You have quite a bit,
Right.
and
so we can say
over 30 great grandchildren, right?
yes. So that sounds like 50.
Yeah.
And then if you're talking about the great grands, you could say that's probably about possibly another 6.
Yeah.
Because Kayshawn has 3, and then
I don't know how many.
Oh yeah, Kayshawn has 3, so that's great, and then Nisha's son has some children, right? So
yes,
so we got to find that out.
Yeah, so that could be about 7.
But you definitely have over 30. You definitely have over 30. I probably should say 40 great grandchildren.
Right. So okay. So now we're looking at and winding down, but looking at the fact here we are on your birthday, we are definitely living strong and moving on. So and then we got some extras. We got Maurice, who's here. He's part of that. And
Maurice, my godson.
Yes, there
he
you go.
Don't have any children yet, but that makes me
Maurice.
Four.
Count Maurice.
Let me see that. That's make me have 6. Seven children I have, including my godson.
Yes. Maurice said, you guys need to do a family portrait at the park with mama's children and kids and kids.
There you go there. Look, he done up there.
He said he not gonna have none either.
his name popped up.
Yeah, there he is. Yes, and then this is my friend Roberta. Hey, Roberta.
Townsend, Robert T.O.W.
Yeah, that's Roberta. That's a friend of mine. She's over there. She's actually in LA. She's
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are today, for those of you guys who are coming in, today is my mom's birthday. And there's a bunch of people's birthdays today, actually, but today is my mom's birthday. We have her live. We done talked about just her coming up as a kid, coming up during that Jim Crow era and migrating over here to the West Coast, and then where my sister and I was born. And then just looking at definitely all these great and great grandchildren and grandchildren and just the lineage that has continued, and definitely the strength, the perseverance, the work ethic, and the get it done and we gonna figure this out type of mentality that has transpired in how we are here today. She said, "Oh, that's mom's beautiful." So that's Roberta. She's saying, "Hi, mom." So, for those of you guys today, of course, y'all want to sing mom something. There's my Cash App. You can, but definitely your birthday wishes are always great for her. She definitely appreciates it. And then too, just being here live. So, mom, what else you like to say to folks about today and your birthday?
I thank all of you that see me and saying happy birthday to me. I don't know all of you, but then I appreciate you for thinking about me, and uh, all of them girls that I used to talk to with Shannon. How y'all doing?
Yeah, hi, Cat. There she go. Hi, Cat. That's you over there.
Yeah, drinking and beer.
Yeah, don't even pay no attention. She
Who that said
she
that?
commented on when you talked about Billy in the phone.
Oh, he said that not drinking and beer.
Yes. So that is Hot Cat talking about the foam and everything that Billy was partaking.
We was talking about the beer with Billy.
Yes. So she laughing. There's Hot Cat right there. So
Yeah, who that Naya and Lois, Naya West?
yeah, it's AKA Hot Cat.
Oh, okay.
So yes. So that is her. And that's Roberta. Roberta again laughing. So
Robert Townsend keep coming up.
yeah, that's Roberta. So today again, your birthday. Is there any like parting words you would like to share from here you are from all these years to us who are just kind of still coming up? What would you like to us leave with? What inspiring words?
Yeah. What did she say?
Okay, hold on. Let's see what
Oh,
Hot Cat says. She
oh,
said, at least you got your name right. All right. So would you like to share any words of wisdom you would like to share with everyone as far as like how do you achieve the
The
what
word of
you
wisdom that I have for you is seek the Lord where you may be found. Hold on to him. Behave yourself. Always put God first and you'll live long. Believe me.
yes.
mm,
So she is
Trust in the Lord and do good. Go to school and learn all you can because I didn't get what you guys getting.
mhm. Yes. That's
It,
definitely
it wasn't available for me back in those days.
right, the opportunity wasn't so easy.
I didn't have the opportunity that a lot of you have today, so take advantage of it.
mhm.
Don't flunk.
No,
You
don't
have no reason to flunk.
no, don't flunk. And Roberta, she's 86 today. Roberta had asked, how many years young are you? And she is 86.
He said, how many years young? I say, 86. How many years young?
And the blessing is that you have your right mind and you're able to walk.
Awesome.
So
He said,
that's the blessing. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you're not
I'm glad to be here and able to move and use all of my arms, legs, eyes, and mind. And
Yes.
I'm not seeing now.
right, and her memory is good. That's how I was able to really do a lot.
I
of
don't have the
ancestry through
information.
mama
Thank
memory.
God kept that way for me. And I never got that COVID. Thank God for that.
Sure did.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely a great thing to still be able to, acclimate, still being able to kind of know what's going on. Because some
Right,
people, even younger, are kind of like not fully capable of doing those things.
right. And I would say,
What's
God is good.
what's
Come on.
that?
God is
No, right
good.
here.
God is
Is
good.
that what?
Over God's promise
Yeah,
years.
that's what.
You over the promise. You over the 75. Is it 75,
Yeah.
70 years? God is so good.
He said, "Where are you?"
Where are you, Oprah Winfrey? Oprah Winfrey, where are you? Waiting for you, Oprah Winfrey. I'm waiting for you. Wendy Williams, I'm waiting for. Where are you? God is so good, Mama. Listen, God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good.
He said, Maurice said she walking, but she got to take some breaks.
She's still walking.
You said block that person. I know. So yeah. So again, for those of you guys who are here, thank you for being a part of our birthday day broadcast here with my mom. We got Maurice who is here. We got Roberta. Hi, Kat. Thank you for popping in too. She said to block them people who was up there saying Oprah Winfrey, but this is definitely great. It's a great thing to be able to memorialize this day, as well as the fact that here we are, you still have your children and, the female children that you have, and of course, our male children.
Yeah, thank God I still have all of my children.
Yeah.
All of them still alive. God have took care of y'all, every one of y'all. Was always think in my mind that God raised y'all. Because there's nothing ever taken y'all away from me, and all of you still alive.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a blessing.
Yes, that is. Even, despite the fact of growing up in one of the, toughest cities, definitely, in California, and then just looking at it, growing up in
Right.
Oakland and coming up during that era of
Yeah, through the
the
crack
70s.
epidemic.
Yes, during the crack epidemic in the 80s, but also growing up during the Black Panther era as well. And being a part of that and seeing that, and, it being right there, partaking in one of the great things that the Black Panthers did during the free lunch era and bringing that
Yeah.
up and being a part of that free lunch.
That free lunch was good.
Free lunch.
When y'all were getting a free lunch at
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
Yeah, we were
In
humble.
the summertime, you had to make it to the center. You
Yeah.
go to the center at the parks, and they had that free
Yeah,
lunch.
yeah,
It was
that's
pretty
right.
good.
So again, by way of the Black Panther, so don't forget that. People take advantage of those things. So we definitely partook in a lot of that, and it was great growing up back in those days where it was a lot of things going on. So
Yeah, it was a blessing to live through, for y'all to live through to get grown, especially living in Oakland.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, that is true. And here we are today, and all the folks that we've brought on with us, like Maurice, and then our old friend, my sister's old friend, but our friend Lisa, and definitely remembering her, and
Yeah.
Lavelle, who comes on here too. Lavelle was part of that whole Fremont, not Fremont, but Hamilton crew.
Yeah, now they call it. Now it's called Calvin Simmons.
Yeah,
Hey,
Calvin
Lavelle.
Simmons.
Free government cheese, plenty
Oh
of
yeah.
grilled cheese.
That block. We were grown. I think we were in our when the government cheese came out. I think Shannon was the baby. In her teens still. I think we was in our 20s then.
Yeah,
But
government cheese. I remember them big old block government cheese.
The one who put that up there, free government cheese, plenty of grilled cheese salad.
Yeah, grilled cheese sandwiches. That's right. See, Roberta said they had it too. Yeah, they were sending government cheese out.
Yeah.
Powdered milk.
And cheese was good though. That cheese in the butter was good.
Yeah, big block butter.
Well, knew how to make it good.
Yes, that is so
And,
true.
back in the day too, remember we did the sugar sandwiches and
Oh yeah. Yeah, you had to put the, sandwiches, put some butter on it and put it down up under the bottom where
ooh, child. And then they copied off us and came out with that cereal called toast. What's that
Yes.
cinnamon toast they copied off?
Exactly, cinnamon toast. So Roberta's mom, she had her 80th birthday too. So happy birthday to your mom as well.
Who?
Roberta, her mom was 80. She had
Oh,
her
one of
birthday.
your friends.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you too.
Yeah. So a lot of growing up in poverty, but growing up still continuously, and then too just to grow up in
Yeah,
life we are.
I grew up when poverty was real bad down south.
Yes, it was. Marie's talking about Miracle Whip sandwiches.
I
Yep,
should have known
we had
that
that
was
too.
I should have known that was Marie.
And fried bologna
What's
sandwich.
bologna?
Y'all said Miracle Whip sandwich?
Fried bologna
We call them
sandwich.
mayonnaise sandwiches.
He said fried
And
bologna.
fried
Yes,
bologna.
we
Yeah.
was
See-
so
see-
poor.
See, my children don't know nothing about that. Ain't they?
No,
That
no.
was for our time. No.
Right, that was.
No.
Yes, we was so poor. That's bull.
Yeah, that's Roberta. So it's like growing up. So Roberta is over there right now. She's living in what is Colts, St. Louis, or
Who is that?
state. So Roberta said that they had sugar sandwiches too.
Yeah, we got.
Or and this what did it? Sugar water. Sugar water was it.
Ooh, yeah, sugar water.
You
And
had
we
to have
made-
some sugar.
And remember we
Indianapolis.
used to
Yeah,
make
so I
our
can go
own
to Indianapolis.
it's Shannon.
Huh?
Remember we used to make our own it's we would go to the store and get a little pint of ice cream, and then you can go to some of those corner stores. They had 2 big cookies.
Yes.
And we
So
take
were
our
making
ice
these cookies
cream.
before they were serious.
We take our ice cream and put it between our 2 big cookies and made our own it's. And then remember the pickles and the peppermint.
Yes.
You
Those were
go to
good.
the corner store, get those big old pickles and put your peppermint in that pickle. I don't do none of that stuff no more.
No,
man.
not no more. And Roberta, and actually,
Yep, syrup sandwiches,
syrup sandwiches. Now my grandkids make syrup sandwiches right now. Okay, so they know what time it is. I had to teach them that.
Oh, and what else did we use? Oh,
I had to
we
teach
made
them
our own
syrup
potato
sandwich.
fries. Whoever had enough energy to go in there and cut up some potatoes and fry our own fries. We fried our own fries. Those was the good fries.
Yeah, those were good fries.
Oh, and remember this? Did you remember the dry salami and the Dorito chips?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those was good.
Yeah, that is always good. High Cat said she used to do that with the pickles and the peppermint.
Yeah.
And Roberta was like, no. So yes.
Oh yes, it was good.
But yeah, syrup sandwiches is a historical staple in the homes. Okay, you got to have some syrup sandwiches. The grandkids make syrup sandwiches to this day, so it don't matter. That's always good.
Okay, I'm ready to eat now.
Oh,
Yeah, she ready to eat. So thank you guys. We're gonna go ahead and call this quits, and she's gonna go ahead and.
We made fried. Well, she wanted chicken, so I fried some chicken.
Oh, did you?
She wanted Kentucky, but she had Kentucky like last week. I didn't do Kentucky this week, and the reason why, because it had too much salt in it, and now she had that high blood pressure situation, so we got to cut it on the salt. So I fried her some chicken, and where I didn't put a lot of salt in it, and then I'm just saying I'm saying the Kentucky Fried Chicken we had too much salt. I ain't speaking against Kentucky Fried Chicken, but I'm saying the chicken we had too much salt.
Right.
So anyway, I fried her some chicken and made her some macaroni and cheese, and then she did some beans yesterday. So she getting those beans today with that, and she had made her some mashed potatoes. So she gonna get that mashed potatoes. So, and I made her a cake. So
right. So thank you. So we got Hot Cat, you said, and a Coke with some nuts in it. Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I remember that. And do you have an air fryer? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we have an air fryer, but we don't use it.
Oh dang, Maurice, they ain't using the air fryer. So,
You are in the show.
right?
Everyone can see
Tell,
and
tell,
hear you.
tell them I used the cast. I fried some chicken in the cast iron skillet, but I do like the air fryer. But I don't know if Mama too much care for the air fryer. But
Right.
it ain't nothing like fried chicken in the cast iron skillet.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, so thank all of you guys for coming in. Maurice said, let's see the cake.
Oh, you want to see the cake?
No, don't show them the cake. Don't show them the cake.
It looks
See,
like a big old
it's
donut.
yes.
You
Well,
said look like a big
I
donut.
messed the cake up, so
No, listen, I cooked the cake and man, I just put frosting in it. Ain't nothing but a little bonnet.
don't show them
It's
the
a
cake.
bonnet chocolate
Don't
cake.
show them the cake.
It's a cake. It's just a homemade chocolate cake.
It looks
There
like
we go. The cake. All right. So thank you guys. So we're gonna get going. Thank all of you guys for being here. Go ahead, Mom. Say good. See them later.
Okay.
So again, it is not by, it is always later. So that is what we're doing. So later.
Later. That's right. Don't never say no bye to me.